we're inside Ben's shop here, Smithson Speed again. Thanks for giving us a tour, but you're going to show us a couple rides today and some of the latest projects, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So tell us a little bit about the shop before we start looking at some of these vehicles. How long you guys been in business, and maybe is there anything that you specialize in?
So we've been in business officially since 2019, so January 1, 2019. I did this kind of stuff on the side for a few years before that. You know, my background is engineering, so I've got an engineering degree. Worked in manufacturing for a couple different auto manufacturers and did that for a while, and then kind of branched out doing this and have not looked back, luckily. So everything is well. Really, when I tell people we specialize mainly on domestic vehicles that are older than I am. So okay. I was born in '87, and really now with the trends that you see, for sure, the OBS truck, we're kind of moving forward even more than that. I feel old. I feel like that truck's a new truck, you know, and you think about it like, man. So yeah, we'll work on mainly domestic cars or a domestic powered vehicle. We've done some LS swaps on like a Toyota FJ Cruiser before. So we'll do anything really that's cool, and we're kind of moving forward into the years. But as you can see around the shop, we still have a lot of 50s to 70s vehicles, but we work on some 80s, 90s stuff as well. It's right here, you know, this is I guess the first vehicle we've got, and it's pretty much a full build for us. Another shop had put the suspension under it, but we've done everything else, coyote swap and so forth. But it's a 69 Mach 1, and it's a real Mach 1 car. Turned out really cool. The owner wanted to do the matte paint. I was a little unsure about it at first.
Did you guys paint it?
So we did the body work, and we had Taylor's Colors in Eagleville, which is a shop around through here. He does body and paint work, and they painted it for us. But man, it turned out killer. I like the matte color, and it is turning into a really cool car. We've done a lot of neat stuff with it. You can see kind of got some of the blacked out trim and whatnot, sitting on coilovers all the way around, you know, drilled and slotted disc brakes, and then we've got a Gen 3 Coyote under the hood, so it's 460 horse Coyote straight from Ford Performance, and it's got a T56 Magnum 6-speed behind it, 9-inch Ford rear. So should be a fun car. I can't wait to get this thing running and driving so we can go see how it runs, performs, and handles the stops and all that stuff. But
so you still have a little bit more to go on this to get it finalized and get it up and going.
Yeah, just if you were kind of at the last 10%, you know, buttoning everything up. We're waiting on a few parts to get back from powder coats. We got to get the windshield in it, and we got to build a stainless exhaust for it, and then we should be able to fire it up and, you know, get all the bugs out of it. You know how that goes.
Nice. So we moved on from the Mustang, and I see a really cool chassis. And what's this for?
Yeah, so this is a project we're about to start. It is for a '64 Corvette. Okay. So it's going to be a really neat little car, Restomod style, just like that. We're excited about it. It's funny, this car came in probably a year or so to us. The owner was wanting to body work and paint, do some little cleanup and detailing in the interior and undercarriage. And we got it in, started working on it, and actually the frame was rusted out, and someone had just fiberglassed over the rust holes. We showed it to him and talked through it, and ended up deciding to buy a chassis. So this is a Scott's Hot Rods chassis. You know, they're right down the road in Knoxville. We got a good relationship with them. They built some awesome stuff. We've got multiple chassis from them now, and this is a LS3 from Chevrolet Performance, a 430 horse with a TKX, Tremec TKX 5-speed from American Powertrain. And it's funny too, he wanted the 5-speed for the overdrive. We talked him into that because he wants to drive it, and he was wanting to rebuild the 327, which I'm a small block fan. I'm good with that. Let's throw a little cam in it, hop it up, rebuild that. And we got to talk about the chassis, got it ordered. A couple weeks later, he called me. Well, my neighbor's cousin, whoever, was talking about those LS motors. What do you think about them? I'm like, well, they're bulletproof, right? You know, people are putting them in everything. There's a reason. And then it developed into let's get an LS for it. And which one? Well, let's get an LS3, yada, yada, yada. Here we go. Now we've got a brand new LS3 TKX chassis, awesome platform to start with. We've got the Vintage Air front runner serpentine system on here. So we use pretty much only Vintage Air and build specialties on the serpentine kits. They just work, they fit, and we've not had any issue out of them. So
now I know one of the things that, at least, let's not tell Susan behind the camera, but you can comment below on this as well for anyone watching this. We had talked about maybe doing something like this for the blue truck, right? Maybe we'll see how the truck does over the next year or so, and if we keep it, you know us as well. Do we keep it? Do we drive it a lot, or do we sell it? But it wouldn't be cheap if we sold it because we've done a lot to it. But this could be something, maybe we bring it back in another year or two and do something like this with an automatic transmission and add a little bit of horsepower as well.
For sure, yeah, that's no problem. These LS, like I said, they're bulletproof, and there's a reason everybody's putting them in everything. The fuel efficiency, the performance, you just can't really beat them, especially in something that you're going to drive.
Right. What type of horsepower are we talking on something like this?
This is a base 430 horse. They have one with a hot cam and so forth, and they make 530 horse. And there's obviously all kinds of LSs, even LTs out now that make just about any horsepower you want.
So you've done several of these. So if someone wanted to do something like this with you guys, is there a time frame, or how booked out are you guys? Or how far is it out to get an engine?
So that's the thing right now with supply chain issues. Part of it's waiting on the products and parts that we need to do the entire swap. Depending on the motor, these have been pretty easy to get. But there's fuel system, and there's front runner, and there's all the other parts that go with it that sometimes you can have to wait on. But right now we are, for us, smaller jobs like that, we're roughly 6 months out.
Okay.
And if we do our homework, get with the customer ahead of time, and we get parts ordered, then we should be able to get the parts here in time to start working on it.
Well, and that's one of the things when we started looking at the truck, we talked about ordering parts right from the get-go. Now, he was a little bit under the pressure because he had the truck because it was broke down, right? But they sourced the parts, and then we waited for those to come in. So really, from when you had the truck to getting it all done, it went very quick because you guys were able to get that scheduled. But that's something, instead of waiting maybe a couple years, you guys are only 6 months out. At least at this point, I assume that's going to continue to expand.
Right, yeah, and our full builds, I kind of group it, silo it in smaller-ish jobs and then full builds, and we're over a year on before we can touch a full build right now.
Okay.
But yeah, we try to sneak in a little smaller stuff if we can, just to kind of do some neat stuff and have things that just don't sit here and take up real estate forever.
Yeah. Now, I've seen the truck before. Tell us a little bit about the truck. Is this a customer car?
Yeah, so this is a truck we built. This was a full build for us that we finished, I think, 2 years ago. Really cool truck. The square bodies are hot, as you know. The square bodies and OBSs. If you got a GM truck right now, you're doing good. But he's had this truck. He's put a couple thousand miles on it, I believe now. And actually been through 2 motors. He blew the first motor up. But we've got all this QA1 coilover suspension going under it. So right now, this truck is lowered very similar to yours, where it's got springs and spindles in the front, and it's got a flip kit in the back. So he wanted to up that, get some more performance out of it, handling and so forth, and the adjustability of coilovers. So we've got full coilovers all the way around from QA1, tubular control arms, and then we're actually talking to him right now about getting some big wheel woods to put on it as well. So,
especially, with these are these 22s?
They're 22s, yeah. They're 22 by 12s and 20 by 8.5s. And it really needs a big brake to peek through those open wheels and look good. So
yeah. So the gentleman is watching this that has the truck, big brake kit.
Well, he saw your truck too.
He did.
So I think that helped push him. But this truck will be killer with some big wheel woods peeking out back there, and then all the coilovers and whatnot. But this is a really nice truck. It's really fun, and he drives the wheels off of it, which is
nice.
Yeah.
Well, one of the last things I want to show is in the corner. Now, I've seen some of this on your Instagram recently. Give everybody your Instagram page, because you post a lot of videos, a lot of stories as well.
Yeah, so my Instagram is Smithson_Speed. So SMITHSON_Speed. That's it. We have a website if you want to check that out. It's SmithsonSpeed.com. So we try to keep you guys updated and entertained as much as we can.
So we got a 62 bubble top.
Oh yeah.
So
really, it's an awesome car.
So is that a local car?
It is a local car. Yep. The guy's actually from Texas and moved up here and got in touch with me. So I love this thing. I've always been an X-frame lover. I've had a couple X-frame cars myself, never a bubble top. But this is real deal 62 bubble top. It's got a 409. 2 4s, 4-speed. So
matching numbers?
You don't get, as far as I know, you don't get much cooler than that.
Oh yeah.
So it is, and it's a nice car.
Red on red, and the video I've heard it running, so it sounds killer as well.
Yeah. So this thing has an engine built by I think Walden Performance Engines down around Atlanta, and it's a pretty hot little 409. And it sounds good, runs good. I've driven it around some. We were playing with the timing and put some plugs in it and just doing a little bit of tinkering here, getting it running better for the guy. It had some cooling issues. We put a different fan and clutch and thermostat and so forth on it. But yeah, he drives this thing too. It's funny, here recently, out here at the National Super Speedway, there was a event where you could pay X amount of dollars, I forget what it was, but go out and run your car around the oval. And he took this out and ran it around there, so that's pretty cool.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Now, when you first started, you had one building.
Yes, so we'll check that out. I'll kind of give you a progression of how that happened. So the main building was a 30 by 40, and it's the center part of that building over there. And 1,200 square feet. Me and one of my buddies, PJ, worked just after work. We both had full-time jobs. I was in engineering, manufacturing. He worked at the electric department, I think. And so we came over here in the evenings, some weekends, and just we're working on a 40 Ford sedan and then a 66 Chevelle two-door post car that I was building. And it got to where we were turning away a lot of work. We just didn't have room, because if you get two full builds going, you just in a 1,200 square foot, it's just tight. So I built this building, which is 1,800 square feet, and I was like, we'll build this. We'll keep doing it on the side, but at least we can get some of those other cars over here and play with them. And then when the numbers make sense, I might transition and start doing this full time, because it's just what I kind of felt like I wanted to do. And then that was 2018 when I built this building. 2019, I added another wing on that building. And then 2020, when after COVID and everything hit and supply chain issues were running rampant, I built another wing on this other building, and you'll see it. We just got pallet racks up, and it's just parts. So that's what I tell people too. Like, all the big parts I know we're going to need for a project, I get them on those shelves before the car ever gets here, because there's no point in me getting them here if I've got to wait for weeks or months to get the parts I need to finish them.
Right. So. Well, that's great. I'm excited to see the second building, so we're heading there next. So now we're kind of in the body shop area, and we have one of the latest projects here. It's a 56 Chevy Nomad. Yeah, 56 Nomad. This is a pretty cool car. We're actually going back. It's going to be a restoration. This is one of my good friend's dad's cars. He's had this thing since '71. So had it for a while, and we just yesterday got it media blasted, and today got some epoxy primer on it, so getting it sealed up. We try to do that as quickly as we can, especially down here in humid Tennessee. So it don't take no time for these things to start flash rusting. Okay. So, yeah, this is a lot of work. As you can tell, it's you can see everything there. We got some rust pitting and rust holes in some floors, and we'll have to address that. But we just wanted to get it blasted to see what condition we really were in, get it epoxied so it doesn't rust all over. And now we get to start cutting stuff out and welding new metal in. But yeah, as you can see behind us, y'all called us at the right time. It is our annual open house. So this is our 4th annual open house cruise in, and the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation is who we partner with. This is actually a disease my niece has, and so every year we do a philanthropy where we raise money. We have silent auction items. That's what all these tables and stuff back here are for. We'll have a bunch of silent auction items, which are donated to us from multiple businesses around Middle Tennessee, and also our vendors that we work with. So we've got Willwood, Speedway Motors, Painless Performance, Vintage Air, a ton of people that send us items to auction off, which is really cool. We really appreciate. But all the proceeds from the auction, we have t-shirt sales that all go to the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation, and we do this every year in the fall. Very cool. Well, we did time it right, so we're glad to be here. And you have it annually. Is it the same time each year? Yeah, it's usually, because it's the fall break, the way it falls around here is the week before this. So we try to do it after all the kids are back and the families are back from vacation, because it is a family-friendly event. So like I was telling you earlier, we're going to have a petting zoo. We're going to have a balloon artist. We're going to have face painting. We're going to have live music. There's going to be a food truck, ice cream truck, a lot of things going around along with the cruise in. So it's going to be a busy day tomorrow, and I can't wait for you guys to check it out. Well, it looks like we're going to have good weather, so we're excited to be back in the morning for that as well. So let's head to the next space. For sure. Yeah. All right, so y'all are in the OG shop now. This is where it all started. This is when I moved into this place. So this 30 by 40 space, this shop was here, and this is where, like I was telling you, we were doing all of our work. We have the 40 Ford and then the 66 Chevelle, and as you can tell, with 2 cars in here, it gets real tight. Take me in here, because we'll be able to show how tight it actually is once you get in here. I'm gonna get behind you. Yeah. So you can fit 2 cars in here comfortably. Yes. Right? Yes, but then you start taking doors off and hoods off and fenders off. I mean, you get stuff scattered everywhere. So it was definitely a balancing and juggling act between how you wanted to tear these cars apart and where you wanted to pull all the parts. So
Yeah, this is it though.
So this is one of the latest projects. Is this a full build?
This is a full build. It's a 38 Chevrolet Coupe. It's really cool because I grew up a street rodder, going to all the NSRA shows pre-49. My dad was a diehard street rodder. I grew up, he had a 34 Chevrolet sedan that I went to car shows in since I was tiny. So it's cool to have a street rod in here. But yeah, 38 Chevrolet Coupe. It's from West Virginia, sitting on a brand new Scott's Hot Rods coilover chassis. We've got a crate 350 small block and a 700 R4 going in it. As you can tell, it's got wheel woods all the way around. Obviously, that's what we use. But no, this should be a really cool car. Had a lot of rust in it. We're still winding down, but we've got a little more of the rust repair, and then it'll be getting body work on it as well. So
I know one of the things, I'm gonna do a sidebar here real quick. You weren't even expecting this, but you do a lot of Willwood stuff. You do a lot of Scott's. What companies are you a dealer for? If I just want to order parts, can I do that from you guys as well?
Yeah, we sell parts and so forth. If we got a list, we'll probably forget some, but Painless Performance Products, wiring harnesses, American Auto Wire, both of those guys, Classic Instruments gauges, New Vintage USA, Griot's Garage Detailing Products, I say Vintage Air already, Speedway Motors, Willwood, Scott's Hot Rods. Shoot, there's more that I'm forgetting about right now. I've got a whole list over there. But those are probably the main ones that we use and do most of our business with.
So really from detail products to full chassis and parts in between, that's another thing that they can reach out to you and source. Absolutely. Even if you're not in town, if you can't find something. And again, that's why we came to you, because I knew that you were a dealer for some of those and it was easy to get Ben for him to be able to do. So check them out for parts, supplies, or if you need a Scott's chassis or anything in between, call these guys.
Yeah, and we use everything that we sell, so that's nice. We can generally help you a little bit on install and kind of point you in the right direction, and you know, really most importantly what not to do, because there's a lot of that we've learned, and you kind of feel that out and get to know what to expect a little more. So.
Tell me about the Mustang here real quick.
So another 69 Mustang Fastback. Evidently we're big Ford lovers here right now. Pretty cool car. So this is a guy I used to work with at Nissan when I was in engineering, but he's had this car forever, and it's an older restoration, held up really good, as you can tell. Really nice car. This car actually, I don't know how many country music fans we have out there, but this car was in a Keith Urban music video a while back. But it's funny because this guy has always been a restoration guy. He had a really, really super nice 65 or 66 Fastback when I worked with him at Nissan. We were always giving each other hell about, I was always a hot rodder and he was always a restoration guy, and I finally got him to come over to the dark side. So you'll see this car right here, we're not doing anything really to the paint or interior, we're leaving it like it is, but we've got all Ride Tech coilover suspension. We've got a new 9-inch under it. We've got wheel woods on all four corners. It's got a new 408 stroker crate motor with about 450 horsepower that also we're putting Holly Sniper EFI on. So vintage air, all the works. You know, it's got a new aluminum radiator from Bryce Thomas with a shroud and electric fan. So it's definitely more the Restomod, where he wanted something he could get in and drive and enjoy, which is kind of, you know, what a lot of people are doing now. You know, instead of just having to haul something around the trailer, let's get in and enjoy it. And that's what he's getting. We put hush mat on all the floors, toe boards, firewall to kind of keep it quiet and keep the heat out. That's another vendor that we do a lot of work with, is Hush Mat. They make some killer products. But yeah, this is going to be a really cool car. We're just going to buff it all over when it's said and done. And we got some new American Racing, like the Magnum 500 wheels, only in 17s. So we've got those ordered for it. They're going to be really cool, but it should sit good, ride good, stop good. I'm excited about this car to get it done and drive it as well. But I'm glad that we got him to come over and do some, I guess, customization to this old car.
Very cool. Now, do you have a favorite build in the past? Is there a favorite car that you've had in the shop, or maybe one that you've had yourself that if I could have this one again, or if I could build this car all over again, this is the dream car for you?
So I really like that we get to work on so many different vehicles. So to have a favorite is a little bit difficult. I do like that square body truck over there. I've driven it around quite a bit and enjoyed it, and it's a nice little truck, but I've really enjoyed everything. We've worked on anything from International Scouts to Mustangs to Camaros to Toyota FJ Cruisers, OBS trucks, and it's cool getting to work on all of them to kind of see how they go together, what's different on this, and get to put our little flair on it. It's funny because I always thought that I would be done with it, but as far as personally, I drove a 67 C10 truck, short wheelbase, through high school. We bought it when I was 13. We redid it. I drove it in high school, in college. I sold it when I got out of college to get like a newer truck to, you know. But I see it every year in Louisville at the NSRA show. It still looks almost like it did. The guys changed the wheels on it, but same color, same interiors. I mean, you can tell it's that truck, and it's like, I always thought I'd be done with it, but it would be cool to have that truck back and kind of update it and do some of this type of stuff now. Probably throw a LS and whatnot in it, but maybe I can get him to come off that one day.
Nice, nice. Now, is there more?
So yeah, the last part of the shop, this is the latest addition that we added on to, is the storage area, and I'll show you that because it's really helped us be able to efficiently, effectively get these cars in and out. So.
Okay, let's head there.
Yeah. All right, so this is the last addition that I was telling you about that just has pallet racking and racks for parts and material that we use. With the supply chain issues we had the past few years, it's really helped us kind of stay on top of projects, stay on top of parts, and get stuff here so we're not waiting on things to finish projects. So here you can see we have a lot of AMSOIL products. We use them, we sell them, they work really good. We've got fuel additives and power steering. We got stuff for power sports and motorcycles. This Z-Rod we use a lot. It is a high zinc oil for the older engines that need it, ATF and so forth. That's what we have on this side. You can see pallet racks on both sides of the shop, and these are all parts for projects that are either here currently or that are in queue to come here as well. If you walk around to the other side, I know anybody that knows us knows that we use Griot's Garage. Detailing, paint correction, in my opinion, is some of the best out there, period. We use it, we sell it, we stand behind it, we know how to use it, we can help show you. But you can tell here, this is all paint correction, different pads and creams, and we got Speed Shine, which is like their quick detailer. We got interior products, we got tire products, I mean buffers down there. So we use and sell a lot of their products, and we've never used anything that doesn't work. So that's like I said, this is our little storage area that we keep parts and materials in. It's been a lifesaver.
So if someone actually wants to pick up some of this, they could call you, or some people stop by and pick up some of this as well.
Yeah, they can call us, email us, whatever, and we can make sure to get what they need. And if we don't have it here, we can order it and get it in. They've got a warehouse that's in Indiana. They're out of Washington State, but they also have one in Indiana. And most of the time, if we order it, it gets here within a matter of a couple days.
Awesome. Well, Ben, thanks for the tour here. I'll get with Ben here as well.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you coming.
It's been a pleasure working with you on the truck. It's been amazing. I'm so excited to actually see the shop in person the first time. But check out Smithson Speed. Give your website one more time, and Instagram one more time.
The website is simple. It's smithsonspeed.com, easy enough. And then Instagram is Smithson_speed. So we appreciate you having us on your show or your YouTube channel, and really thanks for trusting us to work on your killer OBS truck, and I think you're going to love it.
Awesome. Thanks for watching this episode of Opposing Cylinders, and we have more in store. Comment again below what was maybe one of your favorite builds here, and should we do maybe Susan's not here, should we do an LS swap with Ben maybe in the next year or so? So stay tuned, comment below, give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and we'll see you next time.